Peyton Randolph was a significant figure in the American Revolutionary movement right up until his death in 1775.
Peyton Randolph was a resident of Williamsburg, Virginia. He served as the Speaker of the House of Burgesses, and at the time of his death, he was previously the president of the Second Continental Congress. He passed away while at dinner just a couple miles outside of Philadelphia.
Peyton Randolph was one of the signers of what was called the Continental Association. About a year before Peyton's death, there was a concerted movement by the colonial government to cut off imports and exports, cut off as much business as possible with England.
This also included going into mourning, which wasn't seen as something that was morally kind of wrong, but it could end up being very, very expensive because it involved usually a lot of textiles. This was not going to be a funeral where you're going to see a lot of those things because they're trying to make a political statement given his important position. The other thing that was interesting about the funeral, both in Philadelphia and in Williamsburg, is trying to figure out how do you properly honor someone who had served as the president of that body and also the Speaker of the House. How do you respectfully honor him while also adhering to these laws and rules about consumption? With this installation, we decided to kind of figure out what the basics would be. We wanted to make it look like the kind of moments before the funeral procession would begin. We decided that we would have the coffin closed as though it was just about to be carried out to be put on the hearse to process to the Wren Chapel, which is at the College of William and Mary. Another aspect of the installation was thinking about what happens after someone passes away, especially someone who was wealthy like Peyton Randolph. He was also an enslaver, so this could be a particularly anxious time for people who were enslaved because it might mean that families might be broken apart, people might be sold off to pay debts.
Thomas Jefferson, who's actually Randolph's cousin, buys Randolph's entire library. So we have actually staged a situation where books are being prepared to be shipped over to Jefferson.
This collection was sold by Jefferson in 1815 to the library of what would become the Library of Congress. So it built up the kind of basis of that important library.
What went into the installation is a lot of bookworming, so to speak. Everything sort of starts in the library and the archive. We look at wills and we look at, of course, the Continental Association plays a big part of that. What primary documentation do we have that would allow us to install something at the Peyton Randolph House with a high level of accuracy?